This is Stacy Marshall with Printwear Magazine.
Matt Vassallo with the WritingStoneWorld.com.
Richard Greaves with ScreenMaking.com.
Brian Walker with RTP Apparel.
You are listening to the Two Regular Guys
Podcast.
Hosted by
Terry Combs.
Terry Combs.
Terry Combs.
And
Aaron Montgomery.
Aaron Montgomery.
Keep on listening.
I don't know if these guys are that regular.
All right. Welcome to the show, everyone. It's Friday, October 5th, 2018. I'm Terry Combs with Equipment Zone, and you can also find me at terrycombs.com.
And I'm Aaron Montgomery, and you can find me over at aaronmontgomery.info. Today, we're going to be talking with Jesse Martinez again. I'm looking forward to talking to Jesse, good friend of ours. And we're going to dig even deeper into the world of water-based ink screen printing. So, and Terry, bonus time today. We have a special guest, Marcia Derryberry, joining us from ISS and Impressions Magazine to discuss their new 2019 educational format. And I see her in the lobby, so I'm excited to bring her on here. But Terry, let's cover a couple quick news items. There was some big stuff going on, not only in our world, but kind of in the world in general this week that I thought would be worth sharing just to kind of, give our take on how it's affecting our industry. So, I thought the big one was going to be some things going on with the trade deals and stuff like that. But actually, the biggest one to me was a news article I read that Cafe Press sells for more than $25 million. So, personalized photo service company Snapfish and the gift retailer Cafe Press announced a merger agreement. Cafe Press, which is a Louisville, Kentucky-based company, plans to sell its outstanding shares of common stock to Snapfish for more than $25 million. The acquisition comes after 7 months after Cafe Press announced company layoffs, the exit of board members, and a 22% gross profit drop in 2017. So it's apparently been pretty rough over there. So
it sounds like it.
Yeah, although Cafe Press did see some growth in August, it struggled to stay in Google's top search results in various product categories. So heading down the hill, and I think Snapfish is getting a good deal, and we'll see what they can do with it and joining our world. That
sounds like a perfect fit to me. Snapfish sounds like a good acquisition.
Definitely. So, and then, like I said, this is what I thought was going to be top news for us, but the U.S., Canada, and Mexico have reached a tentative new trade deal. The U.S. and Canada came to a final resolution late on September 30th, an hour before the midnight deadline. They love doing things like that to make everybody nervous. The new deal will be called the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, so USMCA. And the United States and Canada have compromised on some major elements, and the revamped treaty now is going to go through a lengthy approval process, but at least seems like we're heading in the right direction there.
Yeah, I heard it was about 1,000 pages. So,
did you read it already? Or?
I'm halfway through. It was gripping. It was gripping. A lot of whereas and wherefores.
yes, whereas and wherefores. Nice. Okay. Well, Rich, good morning. We got some people tuning in already, so excited for that. Terry, I left a news item for you.
You did. President Trump hit China with tariffs of about another $200 billion worth of tariffs on China. The move is seen as a major escalation of the U.S.-China trade war, and China is expected to respond with more tariffs of their own. And Aaron, in talking with some of the manufacturers at the shows, some of them are being hit with this and increasing prices because of it. So we'll see how that all shakes out.
Yeah, we're definitely over at Pick the Gift. We're racing to get all of our containers on the water before all these things start getting too difficult to navigate. So for now, it is what it is. But all right, Terry. Well, I want to make sure everybody stays tuned to the end of the show. I'm going to be presenting 5 unique items to be offering for the upcoming holiday season, especially if you're a sublimator, because that's the world that I'm living in right now. But what else, Terry?
You're looking at all the things that are in the biggest containers for you, and you're going to name those off, I guess, right?
No, but that's not a bad idea. I need to go change that real quick. I'll be right back.
Well, hey, we want to tell everybody we really appreciate you listening. We are very pleased to bring you this weekly show since February 2013. This is our 6th season, and we are always avoiding those rants and lectures and selling things, but we would love to hear from you. You could go to our website, which is 2regularguys.com. Check out our show notes from previous podcasts, and today we'll have even more links up there. And we're always looking for suggestions for future shows. So if you go to our website, 2 Regular Guys, and click on the Contact Us page, you can give us some ideas for future shows. We're booked out through 2018, but looking for shows for 2019. And you can also find us everywhere in social media at 2 Regular Guys. If you're watching us live right now on Facebook Live, we would love to have your comments, insights, questions, and jump in and join in on the show.
Yeah, absolutely. And just a reminder for those of you that, appreciate everybody sharing this out to everybody, but just make sure if you want your comments to be seen by us and interacted on by us, that you get over to our Facebook page, facebook.com/2regularguys, and watch the show there and comment there. So we've already had a couple people checking in. Like I said, Rich, good morning. Eric Campbell checking in. So good stuff going on there.
Fantastic. Well, Aaron, before we go any further, let's hear a word from our sponsor, SGIA, about their upcoming expo.
Hi, this is SGIA's Dan Marks, inviting you to attend the SGI Expo in Las Vegas this October. We're going to show you what's on the horizon, with more than 500 exhibitors showing the latest in dye sub, screen, embroidery, DTG, and more. We have 72 educational sessions, including a garment decoration track, and a special luncheon just for garment decorators. Registration is free through September 19th. Learn more at sgia.org/expo2rg.
All right. Well, definitely excited about the expo coming up here pretty soon. And remember, as Dan said there, get over to sgia.org/expo2rg and make sure you get registered for the show. Also, while you're registering, Terry, make sure you buy your tickets to that garment decorator lunch. You and I are going to be there, and there are limited seats available for this. And to me, it's some of the best $30 you can spend. I was able to go last year, and the networking was outstanding. And this year's speaker is going to be Ricardo Crespo. And if you don't know him, he's a former chief creative at 20th Century Fox, as well as at Mattel before that. Very inspiring guy. So you don't want to miss out on the luncheon. Just buy your tickets when you're registering for the expo.
Yeah, Aaron, speaking of Ricardo Crespo, he is also one of the keynote speakers at the upcoming ThreadX 19, and that's going to be February 17th through 19th, 2019 in San Diego, California. Speaker list this year is amazing, just like last year. So if you missed 2018, you cannot miss 2019. It was an incredible event. We'll be road tripping out again this year from Phoenix to check out the speakers like Ricardo, Benny Gold, who's a San Francisco-based streetwear brand and boutique, and keynote speaker Aaron Draplin, who is a design wizard. And if you register early enough, you can sign up for a hands-on workshop with him. And Aaron, I'm getting pretty excited about this.
Yeah, I definitely can't wait to see y'all there. So just again, go to our link there, sga.org/expo2rg, and you can sign up for all that, see details about all of that, and so on and so forth. So, Terry, we are excited to get our bonus guest in here too today. So yeah. I'll grab Marcia and then quickly tell the story why I ruined Fort Worth for us. But so let me grab Marcia here. There we go. Marcia, good morning.
Hey, welcome to the show.
Yeah. So Marcia's with Impressions Magazine and the ISS shows, and we're going to talk to her a little bit about what's going on. But like I said, I wanted to preface this as we were supposed to have a great event out there in Fort Worth, and I blew it by getting myself sick and not being able to make it out to Fort Worth. So I'm glad that we're able to bring you in here today, Marcia, and talk about this. So again, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, Marcia, one of the things that we were going to talk about on the show in Fort Worth was going to be education for 2019. So tell us what we can expect next year at the ISS events.
Yeah, we've got lots of exciting stuff planned. We've totally changed up the conference program, so I'm excited to tell you all about it. I'll talk fast because I know you need to get to Jesse, but typically we used to run 5.
Yeah, you can wait.
Enough about Jesse.
Yes, that's
typically
right.
we used to run 5 workshops at the shows, and starting with Long Beach, we're going to be running 10. They'll be, instead of 6 hours, they're half-day workshops. So they're going to be running 3 hours each to give decorators opportunities to have more topics to choose from. We also are repeating 2 workshops on Sunday, the last day, in case you can't make the pre-show ones because they happen the day before the show. So we'll be repeating those in case anybody didn't catch those. We have 50 seminars this year, 95% of which are new, and a whole bunch of new speakers to give you lots more options to choose from. And the seminars have been shortened to 1 hour and 15 minutes to give you more options. So we are able to put on more seminars and repeat some of those as well in case you can't catch them the first day or so of the show. We actually have blocked out the time this year. We have lots of questions about not getting enough time on the show floor. So our seminars are going to go until 10 and then they'll resume at 3. So you have from 10 to 3 to have lunch and be on the show floor. And then they'll start again and they'll go till 5:45 in the evening. So that gives decorators a great opportunity to get out on the show floor and see what's new and network and check out some of the on-site education that I'll get to in just a second. We've got 5 pricing tiers to choose from, so there's something for everybody. They're very inexpensive for what you get out of them. We've got some of the best industry experts speaking on a variety of topics, every decorating process you can think of. In the arena is a place you really want to check out. There's lots of exciting stuff going on back there. It's at the back of the hall. If you go to the right of the hall and go all the way back past the restaurant, you'll get in the arena. It used to be that round thing that was decorated with dolphins and whales and stuff. And in there, we have on-site education, which are free 45-minute sessions. So there's a little stage and seating, and the facilitator has a lav mic so you can hear him. And he's speaking on a variety of topics for 45 minutes. So this is a place to just take a load off, get some education, grab something to eat. It's real informal. You can ask questions. And those have been very popular. We started those. They have a PowerPoint presentation with them. We started them last year in Long Beach, and they really were successful. Yeah. And then also in the arena, we have shop talks, which are TED Talk type sessions. They only last 20 minutes. Those also are free, and those are in a lounge, and they're very comfortable, very interactive. We've got the Ink Kitchen partnering with us, which is Rick Roth, Tom Davenport, and they will be spinning some tunes back there. They've got their record player back there with some old tunes, and they have a big networking area for decorators to just take a load off and either listen to the shop talks or in between, just kind of hang out and network and meet each other and enjoy some time off the show floor. We have some new and fresh faces as well, some of our tried and true experts on hand to facilitate these sessions. So I encourage everybody to come by and really sign up for the sessions. We'll continue this format throughout 2019, even at the smaller shows. Okay. And then also in the arena, we're going to be presenting the winners of the 2018 Impressions Awards, which we just judged in Fort Worth last weekend. And there's some great stuff. They're all going to be presented in the January issue, which you can pick up in the Impressions booth, which will be located in the arena. And then you can see all the winners up close and personal and see some of the great work they've done.
Awesome.
Fantastic. Hey, Marcia, I just wanted to comment. I just wanted to comment about 2018, especially Fort Worth. I always ask who's attending their first trade show, and in my seminar, 75% of the people raise their hand. So we, always love to see that.
Even at the booth, I'm amazed how many people have never heard of Impressions Magazine, or it's their first show. And it really amazes me. Decorators are out there everywhere, right? And they're still coming to their first shows and reading their first magazines. And you can subscribe to Impressions. If you go to our website, impressionsmagazine.com, there's a subscribe button. We've got all kinds of newsletters and digital stuff that goes out that you can read even more educational content on. And it's just really great resource for anything having to do with apparel decoration.
Nice. Well, Marcia, for our listeners that are planners, where are the shows at next year?
We are in Long Beach in January. March, we're in Atlantic City. We're in Houston in June this year. Okay. We will be in Orlando in September and Fort Worth. I can't remember if it's late September or early October.
Okay.
But those are our 5 shows next year.
Fantastic. So,
And that's
Marcia,
at issshows.com. That's with 3 S's, so don't mess it up. Everybody does.
I always say that when I tell people that. ISS shows, that's 3 S's in the middle.
Yeah.
But, hey, anything going on over at Impressions that you want to share with us?
Yeah, we've got a great editorial schedule. We've already planned it for 2019. Lots of great content. We've got some supplements coming out for the team and activewear market, and also one called Digital Decorator, which is all about digital decorating. As you guys know, that has taken off like crazy in the industry and still continues to grow. Like I said, our January issue will feature all of the winners of Impressions Awards 2018. And then we've got some special issues planned. May is our innovation issue, this will be our third or fourth year doing that one. And that list, that's got all kinds of content about all the latest innovations and innovators in the industry.
Awesome. Wow.
Fantastic.
So you're, you guys are busy over there with everything going on, and it sounds like
we stay pretty busy.
I bet, just coming off Fort Worth, and I'm sure you guys have already been planning Long Beach for a long time, but probably kicked into high gear now.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Everything's planned and ready to go for Long Beach. We're ready. Registration is open. So I encourage everybody to go to register.
Nice. Okay. And again, ISS shows with 3 S's, and we put the link across the bottom there just a second ago. We'll put comments in the show notes, et cetera, et cetera. Marcia, the one question I had about the auditorium and the rotunda area there where a lot of that stuff's going to happen, does it still have the whales and the dolphins though?
I can't remember. Now I can't remember.
All right. Well, I'm going to be pretty disappointed if they're not, because that's just very peaceful to me. But
yes.
All right. Well, Marcia, anything else before we let you go here?
I don't think so. I really appreciate you guys having me on. Let me talk a little bit about the education and the magazine. And I always look forward to seeing you guys at the shows. Definitely.
And I, like I said, I was so bummed to miss out on Fort Worth. I was so excited to be there, and unfortunately, I put myself in the emergency room. So,
I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm glad you're feeling better.
Back and ready to go. Just got it. So,
yeah, Jamar told me you were in the gym on Instagram the other day, so
yes,
we knew you were feeling better.
Yeah, that was after going to the emergency room. The doctor said, "You need to get to the gym," and I said, "All right, I got it."
Right after this.
Nice. All right, guys. Well, Marcia, thank you so much. And again, we'll get links to all this stuff up, and we can't wait to see you in Long Beach.
Thank you guys so much. Y'all have a great day.
All right,
you as
great.
well. All right, Terry. Well, awesome having Marcia on, and glad to hear. I mean, that's some exciting stuff. I know you kind of got a sneak peek and heard a little bit about that there at Fort Worth. But man, that's a really cool format. You know what I love about it is all of our shows, but the ISS shows are working their tails off to really listen to the people and give them what they're looking for, how they can help them grow their businesses. And I think this is really cool, and you're starting to see this across the board. But Long Beach has always kind of led the way when it comes to innovation. So
yeah, Aaron, and for me as a speaker and an exhibitor, having the seminars before the show opens and late in the day is really going to benefit me, and taking away from time in the booth. So I'm excited about that. Now, my first seminar is going to be at 4:45, so we'll see how I feel about that once I work the show all day and then get talk. But I think it'll be good.
You have to find a way to grab a beer on your way through or something like that.
I'm sure I can find a way.
Yeah. Yes, knowing you. All right. Well, Terry, you ready to bring on our next guest? We're chock full of awesome guests today, and so let's grab Jesse here. Let's see how we do here. Perfect. There we go. Jesse Martinez with Matsui International is rejoining us today after being on our show back in August 24th. And we're going to keep that topic of water-based printing going today. We're going to talk about color matching systems. So welcome back to the show, Jesse.
Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Terry. I appreciate you guys having me on the show. Just really quick, want to say I'm here in North Carolina. Right now, we're in the middle of an open house here at TechSource, our East Coast distributor. And as you can see, I'm wearing a shirt sponsored. Basically, they're raising money and awareness on cancer. So, we're all the vendors are here wearing these shirts, promoting to raise some money for some of the cancer and donate the money to some cancer foundations as well. So they're our sponsor for today.
Fantastic,
Awesome.
Jesse. Is that water-based ink on that shirt, or?
Absolutely. Can't fail it.
All right, my friend. Well, speaking of water-based, tell us about Matsui's water-based ink products.
Well, Matsui's been known for a very long time, and Matsui entered the market, the U.S. market, about 30 years ago, a little over 30 years ago. We started on the East Coast in Manhattan, and now we're on the West Coast in Gardena, California. Basically, we entered pigments with introducing pigments to the U.S. market with companies like Mattel, and we had very unique pigments that would actually be heat sensitive, light sensitive. So those Hot Wheel cars that you would dip in the water and change colors, that was our pigment. That's how we got introduced to the U.S. market. And now we're really strong in the screen print industry, screen rotary, and then also now becoming very strong in digital. And believe it or not, we're getting into silicone now.
Wow.
Very interesting.
Busy. Nice. Well, Jesse, talk to us. The topic we wanted to cover today is kind of color matching. And so talk to us about that. What's the importance there of color matching and screen printing? And how do you guys at Matsui deal with this?
It's for water-based is a little bit more challenging. Unlike plastisol, water-based is a solvent. So the pigment systems, the bases are going to be a little bit more transparent. And we have many different options, anything from discharge to acrylic, high solid acrylic, polyurethane. So as you're changing bases, there's going to be different levels of transparencies within each base. So when ink is transparent, the substrate is going to play a big role in how the colors are going to react to that substrate. It's not the same printing directly on something that's white versus something that has a little bit of a kind of like a dingy white. If it's a clean, pure white or dingy white, and you put color on each one of those, that color is going to shift a little bit because it's going to want to take that color of the background. Very similar, I think, to what we've seen in direct to garment. When we used to all work together.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So Jesse, tell us about how water-based color matching compares with plastisol color matching.
Again, because of the transparency of the bases, you can probably use less white ink to hit some colors with water-based, but there's a trick to it. You got to use the background. Okay. So it's really understanding what is the background that you're printing on to make that color that's going to go on top. Okay, there's a lot of conversations going on right now in the forums about this, and understanding, because plastisol is 100% solid, so it has very, very good coverage. Okay, so it's a lot easier for the color to be more consistent and stable. Where with water-based or any type of solvent type ink, it's going to be less stable because it's transparent. But the fact that there is the ability for mixing softwares to get you close to the color, that's what's important, in knowing that those systems do exist out there.
Okay. So I thought all the discussions on the forums was whether or not I was a French supermodel, but apparently that's not true. All right. Bad jokes aside, Jesse, talk to us about the software side, color management software.
So again, it's very important that everyone understands also that there's different formulations available in the softwares. All the brands make very good mixing softwares or color matching systems. They're all very good. But the one thing that everybody needs to take into consideration, they're there as a guide. Okay, they're not there to be perfect. There is no such thing as a software that is 100% perfect. I don't care what anybody says. The minute the substrate changes, that color is going to shift. So there's no way that formulation is going to give you accurate color. It's there for it to guide you to the color. Then you make the adjustment based on the substrate and all the other variables that are out there.
Well, speaking of that, what are the variables that we need to consider, Jesse, when we're making that shift over to water-based ink?
You got a couple of hours?
We've got about half an hour.
I always like to joke around and say there's 5,000 variables out there that can change things in screen printing, including color. But the most important variables would be, the common things like your lighting. Where are you looking at the color, under what kind of lighting? We like to recommend daylight 65. Your screen mesh, what mesh count are you using? Different mesh counts are going to give you different deposits. Emulsions, thickness of emulsion. Squeegees. Okay, what durometer squeegee? Triple durometer, medium, soft, angles of squeegees. Your speed. If you're printing manually, you got to try to be consistent on the speed that you're using. If you're printing on an automatic, you got to set your speeds to be a standard speed as well. So as you can see, there's a lot of variables there that can affect color. And what's cool about water-based is that if your color is off, before you even go to adjust the color, you can probably make some adjustments on press with angles, durometers, speeds, single stroke, double stroke to get to the color that you need to get to. So that's one thing that I really do appreciate and like about water-based. And I think screen printers can find that as an efficient tool to adjusting color.
Nice. Okay. So, Jesse, we know that water-based, well, I hope everybody knows that water-based can't be sitting on a shelf in an open container like maybe a Plastisol ink. So I know before we started the show, you were introducing us to some folks, but talk to us about dispensing units for water-based. What's new there?
Well, in Plastisol, that's a pretty popular piece of equipment, but it has been very expensive. So it's not something that every shop can have access to because of the costs, right? But it is a very valuable tool that I think all shops should consider because, it almost takes the place of an employee, and it also helps you be more consistent in color matching or stability. Because whenever you're making colors, there's always the room for human error. And by having a dispensing unit, this will eliminate the human error factor, okay? With water-based dispensing units, which we are right now, as a matter of fact, this week, we got our first dispensing unit completed and installed. And we are going to start now promoting it here through Long Beach. In Long Beach, we'll actually have it in our booth in Long Beach and show the screen printers how well these dispensing units work. And they're very, very accurate. Right now, they're using volumetric ways of weighing out the pigment. And then we're weighing out the base gravimetric, okay, so that we have the option of making colors with different bases. So very similar to like when you go to Home Depot, okay? You go pick up your base off the shelf, take it to the counter and say, I want this color. They got those machines there that just put the pigment into the base, mix it up. There you go. Here's a color with either flat, semi-gloss, different type of bases available. We're going to be offering that type of solution now. And those systems are much more affordable. You're talking about estimating the $30,000 range.
Well, Jesse, when you mentioned Long Beach, is that going to be a Matsui booth, or are you going to be in someone else's booth there?
Matsui will have their own booth, and we will be printing live on site. We're going to have a couple of things going on, anything from the dispensing unit to printing on, I believe, sublimated fabric, which is a big deal right now.
Very good. Well, hey, I want to jump back to something you mentioned, lighting, and you hear about that a lot in printing on Chromolux and things like that with sublimation. But how does lighting impact the end product that you're producing with your ink system?
Well, if you really think about it, everybody's always going to, the best lighting is the sunlight. Okay, so we got to try to simulate that, because no matter where you're at, you're always going to be around sunlight. Okay, so that's the best place to check your colors is out in sunlight if you don't have the proper lighting source. Okay, now your Pantone book, I have one here. Okay, has a nice little tool right here. Okay, and if you put this tool right underneath the light, there's two different shades of color. I'm not sure if you can see them there or not. But what you're looking for is the two shades to basically mix into each other and create one solid color. When you see one solid color here between these two colors, that's when you know you have the proper lighting to see color. All of us see color in a different way, and we might not see it the same. So the lighting plays a big role on how, to make sure that color is the color that everybody can see equally.
Nice. Okay. All right. I love this. I'm trying not to let my eyes glaze over because you guys are very technical and smart when it comes to screen printing. I know just what Terry tells me. So
one other thing I forgot to mention on the mixing softwares, that's very important. Okay. Because of the translucency of the inks themselves, most brands do offer 2 formulation options, one for printing directly onto the fabric and one for printing over a white underbase. Okay, because the pigment loads are going to be a little different in printing the different substrates.
Well, that's a good tip. All right. Well, Jesse, you had mentioned to us pre-show some things about recipe prediction software. Tell our listeners what exactly that is.
So this is something that is available in other industries, and I've been doing some research on it, and I am very happy to find this type of solution because our industry is getting more technical, very similar to direct to garment. I got to thank Scott Fresner for giving me the opportunity to get into digital because I learned a lot in digital and how to combine screen print with digital. And where we're at now with digital is amazing with these new hybrid systems. That's something that we all talked about at one point when we all worked together. So it's awesome to see these 2 technologies, analog and digital, combining together to create these solutions that I know we always wanted to be there one day. So the software very similar to what we did with direct to garment in doing color profiling. Okay, so we figured out that there's a software available out there where we can do color profiling using our pigment systems, okay, to where eventually we're going to use a photospectrometer. And if somebody gives us a target color, okay, because there's a lot of brands that don't use Pantone, they'll give us a target color. We'll be able to scan that color. This software will be able to translate that color information and give us a prediction of a recipe we can start with. So very similar to the color matching systems for Pantone, this software will automatically give us a formula that we can use as a guide to start with. And that's where this software is going. And I'm hoping to have it ready for Long Beach as well, so I can start showing that.
That sounds super cool. I love that.
I have an example of one. I actually, because you guys know color profiling, it takes forever, right? So far I've done red, blue, and yellow. And I picked a color that pretty much uses those colors. And what I did is I used one of our target colors that we had in a book. I scanned it, and then I scanned into software, and they came out with the formula. We then went to our dispensing unit, punched in that formula to our dispensing unit, and we came out with this color here based off of the formula that the software gave me. And basically the formula that we scanned was 2223 in the Pantone book. And this is the result that I got.
For our podcast listeners,
and again, I don't know if you guys can see it, but I wanted to give you guys some visual just to be able to see it. But again, also a color on paper is very hard to match for textile. Okay, the Pantone book is color on paper, so we are always trying to match to this color on paper, and to me, and to a lot of us, it doesn't make sense. There is textile. Pantone has textile colors, which are dyes, but that's a little bit better than paper. Okay. Yep. So even trying to match pigment to dyes is tough, but it is going to be better because it's actually on textile and not paper. So I do want to encourage more people to start using the textile Pantone colors, the TX colors, more than the Pantone book, because I think that's a better direction to try to match colors.
Okay. So Jesse, one of the things that we talked about pre-show was digital quality control tools. Talk to us about that.
So, we talked about the lighting, which is very important. But the most important tool that I think is going to come into the market, and the reason I think this topic is important, is that we need to start looking into photospectrometers. A lot of people are probably going to not like me saying this, but color accuracy is becoming more and more important. and we see it on the forums and everybody talking about it. So the only way we're ever going to get to that perfect or close to perfect color accuracy is by using tools like a photospectrometer. And that's the reason why we're looking into this software, recipe prediction software, because photospectrometers are going to play a big role in our industry here in the near future.
Nice. Well, yeah, Jesse, I know we're not here to make friends. We're here to pass good information. So keep that good information coming. All right. Nice. All right, Jesse. Well, I wanted to share. We got a great question from the comments here. Sam from T&J Printing said, first and foremost, said, "You're the man," which we would tend to agree. But he said, would be good to have him talk about RC Neo versus OW Neo and their mixing systems. Valuable information for people interested in color matching with Matsui. So,
Great.
can you? We're putting you on the spot, but can you talk to us about that?
No worries. I try to practice not talking too much about Matsui because I do want this to be more educational than anything else, and I appreciate you guys giving me the opportunity to talk about Matsui. So Sam is correct. And like I mentioned earlier, we have two different formulas, one for printing directly to fabric, one for printing over a white underbase. So the RC formulation stands for ready color. So you're making a color that's ready to print directly to the fabric. OW is for over white. That is designed to make colors that will be printed over a white underbase. And another thing that's important out there is the standards that each brand sets when they're making these colors. We can't make colors in all the different meshes and all the different variables that are out there. So what we do is we try to use a standard. We try to use a flash print on the white using a 110 or 160 mesh. And then we come back with the color on top with the 160 mesh. Everything on medium durometer squeegees, 15-degree angle squeegees, medium speed, okay? That is just a kind of a good medium to start with. And in our dispensing unit, we will have that information for each formulation on there. What are the tools that we use to achieve that color? So it's easier to adjust from there.
Hey, Jesse, before we get you out of here, I do have a question. You had mentioned we used to work together. We all worked together at US Screen and had a great experience, a great time. My only question is, how long did it take you to find your phone when we hit it in the ceiling panel above your desk and just called it sporadically through the day?
I don't know. One of these days I'm going to get you back, Terry, but it was good times, and I honestly I do miss those times so much that I actually moved back to Arizona again.
Right.
I think I talked about this with Aaron.
Yeah.
You got to come over to the house. I'm a little far away. I'm in Goodyear, but would love to have you guys over when you guys are in town.
Well, you left LA and you moved to as close to LA as you could in Phoenix.
Yes, pretty much. Yeah. I used to live in Tucson before, remember?
Yeah.
Pretty much close to Tucson. I went to the other side for sure.
Nice.
Very nice.
Good to have you back in Arizona, and I will definitely make a point of visiting. I think we talked about this last time, Jesse, but my older son lives out there in the Avondale, Goodyear area, so it'll be perfect to see him and stop off and see you too. So that'll be
bring him over. Bring him over. We got a swimming pool, and we'll barbecue and have a good time.
Yeah. Great. All right. I got to get my plane ticket here and we'll be on the way. So before we let you go here, Jesse, if anybody else has any questions for you, please go ahead and throw them in the comments here real quick. But did we miss anything that you wanted to cover here, Jesse? And if not, just kind of let us know where listeners can find you at.
Yeah, just pretty much. I think the things that we'll be looking forward to in Matsui is SGI coming up in Las Vegas, October 18th through the 20th. We will be there. We're not going to have a big, impressive booth, but we'll be there to share some information and more on the digital side. We are getting into the DTG inks a little bit, kind of step in and maybe provide some solutions for the Epson print heads that are out there still. The silicone ink is something new for us as well. So we're hoping to maybe eventually have a mixing system for that as well in the near future. And then ISS show coming up in January. Very important show. It's one of the most important shows in the U.S. for us. It's become an international show for us. And we have customers from all over the world that come see us at ISS Long Beach. So I think the ISS show in Long Beach is definitely one of the most important shows in our industry now. As far as finding me, everybody does a pretty good job at finding me. I guess it must be easy to find.
I've wrote your number on enough bathroom walls.
That's what it is. Facebook, Jesse Martinez, Matsui International has a Facebook as well. Our website is www.matsui-color.com. And also on our website, my cell phone's on there, not my home number, just my cell phone.
Okay.
But you can reach me on my cell phone, text message, email, you name it. I try to make myself available. We understand that switching over to water-based is not easy. And we are trying to offer the best support possible to help printers switch over to water-based. It is the future. It is something to look at, something to consider, and at least start at about 5 to 10% of your shop water-based.
Nice. Well, I think if you can get Terry Combs converted over, you're well on your way. So that should be your biggest.
That's what DTG is. It's water-based.
True enough. True enough.
Awesome. Well, Jesse, thank you so much for your time today. Again, we had a blast, but also just tons of great information. I actually could probably go out and talk intelligently about water-based printing now. So I appreciate that.
I appreciate it. Thank you guys again for the time, and look forward to seeing you guys soon. You guys going to be at SGA?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we will see you there. So we'll plan on making some time to get together for sure, Jesse.
Are we going to time travel?
Possibly so.
We'll see.
It's Vegas, man.
It is Vegas.
Awesome. You got to start thinking about a year.
Yeah, we'll work on that. We'll tell that story too, maybe one of these days. All right, Jesse, take care. Have a great show. TechSource, how much longer is the open house going on out there?
TechSource has started today from 9 to 4 p.m. They got some awesome food. That's the real reason to come out here. They got some going on. It's going to be going on today and tomorrow.
Okay. And where at again?
They are in Kings Mountain, North Carolina.
Okay. So if you're in driving distance of Kings Mountain,
it's pretty much Charlotte, North Carolina. We're about 20, 30 minutes out from Charlotte.
Okay. Awesome. Well, if you're in the Charlotte area, go over and see Jesse and tell him you saw him on the Two Regular Guys.
Yeah, we have about 506 people registered for this open house.
Wow.
It's an incredible event. And if anybody's interested in coming out, go to try to find their website. I don't have their website right here in front of me, but they're pretty easy to find.
Yeah,
I believe it's screenprintingsupplies.com. They have all the information there about the open house. Okay, if not, look up TechSource Screen Print Supplies.
Plus, Kings Mountain, there was a very pivotal Revolutionary War battle there. So if anyone wants to go there and see the battlefield.
Absolutely, the hill.
Nice. All right, Jesse, have fun today, and we'll talk to you. We'll see you in Las Vegas.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Take care.
Awesome.
Cool.
A lot of great information there, Aaron. And Jesse is correct. And, of course, we just had Marsha on the show as well. But the ISS shows, the MBM shows, the DAC shows, they are, for the most part, regional shows, but that Long Beach show to kick off the show season every year, it is certainly a national and an international show. And if there's one show you're going to go to next year, make sure it's the ISS in Long Beach, because it's going to be tremendous, and thousands of attendees and everybody, just like Jesse was talking about, they're going to be introducing their new products there. So get out to see that.
Absolutely. I mean, I think it works out really great in our industry, the way that kind of, like I said, you've got Long Beach at the beginning of the year. I think people are really kind of introducing the finalized, this is what's going on for 2019. And then you book in that with the big show in an SJA and what it's going to convert into. where people are kind of like teasing you with, here's what's coming next year.
Exactly.
We spent, many SGA shows when we were back with you at Screen, kind of, okay, let's just make this work well enough to get us through the show, and we'll get it right for Long Beach and officially announce it. So
That's
thanks
exactly
for
right.
those two events together on your must every year list, and then sprinkling in some of the other shows is what's going to help you grow your business. So
Exactly right.
in fact, we had a comment here, Terry, that I'll let you I don't know if you see that flashing across there.
Yes, it says best advice for ISS Long Beach: comfortable shoes, and that's good advice for any trade show, especially for all of us working those trade shows.
All right, Terry. Well, we've kind of gotten down. We got to close up, do a few housekeeping things. We got 5 things left, but
but
let's hear a word from Equipment Zone here first, if that sounds good to you.
Our show today is sponsored by Equipment Zone. Go to equipmentzone.com for the Epson F2000 direct-to-garment printer. Equipment Zone is the only Epson reseller who sends a technician to every customer location for training. This is an absolutely free visit to your location. Equipment Zone is also the manufacturer of the #1 pre-treat machine in the industry, the Speed Treater TX. With no compressor and no special tanks, the Speed Treater TX is the easiest and most consistent pre-treat machine available worldwide. Go to equipmentzone.com for the Epson F2000, the Speed Treater TX, and for all your DTG inks and supplies. That's equipmentzone.com. That's equipmentzone.com. Hey, make sure you also look for Equipment Zone at SGIA. Not a regular booth. Some of the folks from Equipment Zone are going to be there selling shirts for the 9/11 Firefighters Fund, and it's going to be a very unique display. So look for that, and I would tell you about it, but I think it's still a secret. I think it's just going to be, you're going to have to get there to see it.
Awesome. All right. Well, we will definitely check that out coming up at SGIA. Good stuff, Terry. Sam says, thank you guys. Good show. We'll be following. So
awesome.
Appreciate you tagging along there, Sam. Again, noted that he was from T&J Screen Printing Supply. I think it's Screen Printing Supply. So I appreciate them tuning in. All right, Terry. Well, let's real quick cover some of the other events we got coming up here, and then we'll get to 5 things if that works for you.
That sounds good. You go first.
All right, perfect. Well, I've got my SBS Small Business Saturdays is what that stands for, coming up this Saturday again. After a week off last week, I felt like being in the emergency room at 2 in the morning on Saturday morning warranted me skipping a week. So, but this week I'm going to be coming to you talking about customer experience. Just going to really cover why it's important, what you need to look at, the segments of the customer experience that you need to make sure that you're focusing on, and what you need to change to make that customer experience the best possible. So that's at 11:30 a.m. Eastern, 8:30 a.m. Pacific time, over at my Facebook page, facebook.com/aaronmontgomery.info. And so looking forward to getting back on the horse next Saturday, or tomorrow, I guess. So October 17th, I will be teaching during the Essential Small Business Strategies session at SGA, which is the day before SGA Expo opens. And that's from 1 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. My topic will be marketing your business online. So I'm actually tweaking and fine-tuning that right now. So I'm really excited to bring that to you. A nice quick presentation there. And then on Friday, October 19th at 10:30 a.m., I have an hour-long presentation, kind of a little more extended version, digital marketing, growing your business with social media and email marketing. So looking forward to being at SGIA. Terry, what about you? What's coming up?
Well, I'm looking forward to attending SGIA and not speaking for a change. But October 13th and 14th, before SGIA, I'm going to be presenting my complete screen printing business course with Atlas Screen Supply in their Nashville location. That's the second time to be there this year. October 27th to 28th, I'll be doing that same class at Workhorse Products here in Phoenix. November 1st, and getting ready to wrap the year, Aaron. November 1st, I'm going to be doing the Epson DTG class, the free class in Charlotte before the NBM show there, and I'm going to follow that exhibiting with Equipment Zone there November 2nd and 3rd. And the following weekend, November 10th and 11th, I'm going to be back in Chicago offering my complete screen printing business course there again at Atlas Screen Supply up close to O'Hare Airport. And as always, all my events are on my website, terrycombs.com, under tour dates.
Nice.
Yeah.
I told you I went to lunch with Andrea the other day, and she still talks about the fact that she needs to make the Terry Combs tour T-shirt and wear it around. So.
Right. She does have an autographed picture that I jokingly gave to her, and she has hanging in the wall in her office.
Very nice.
Well,
so she's gonna embroider it, I guess. I don't know.
that'll be unique. I'm looking forward to that. all those dates. But Aaron, it's time for It's Five Things, and you're up this week.
All right. Well, I am ready, and let's get this thing going here. Get the screen right. All right. 5 unique items to be offering for the upcoming holiday season as a sublimator. These are all sublimated products, so I'm sure you could figure out ways to convert to other areas, but I'm going to talk about sublimation. So here we go. Number 1, memory reminders, aluminum ornaments. So these are things like memorials. If somebody's passed away, remembering them that year as an ornament. See a lot of like wedding announcements, engagement announcements, kind of big memories that happened during the previous year, just kind of having pictures and information about that on an ornament and providing good templates for customers to be able to do those things is a great market, great way to do things. So that's number 1. Number 2, decorated and personalized tree skirts. Every time I say tree skirts as a sublimation product, I always get the kind of like, what? Shouldn't those just be those fluffy white with red velvet looking? And we're seeing more and more people want to personalize those, and family names, all the kids' names, cool scenes on them. So great market to be in, tree skirts for the holidays. And number 3, a poly canvas poplin, some sort of a nice fabric, a nice thick fabric as a Santa sack. Could be something big, or it could be just kind of an alternative to wrapping paper. So we're seeing a lot more of that personalized, and parents putting the big gifts for the holidays into that as kind of a Santa looking sack. And then number 4, not to forget about our friends that celebrate Hanukkah. I'm seeing more and more pajama pants being made for the Hanukkah celebrations throughout. So that's December 2nd through the 10th this year. So, you've got to be prepared a little bit earlier than for the Christmas holiday, but I think that's a good market to be in too if you have some connection there. And number 5, last but not least, we are seeing a ton of requests over at Pick the Gift for Christmas morning socks. So just some nice socks, typically like a no-show, just a little small, not really anything bulky, but just some fun socks to wear around on Christmas morning. So there we go, Terry. There are 5 things.
That's a great list, and I love the idea of the personalized tree skirts. I had never thought about that, but what a unique thing to pull out year after year. That maybe pictures of Christmas past, that sort of thing. So
yeah,
very cool.
Yeah, really cool. That's a great idea. I would make you one and send you one, but it'd probably end up with the same person that has this shirt of yours. So.
Exactly. Yeah, I had 2 gifts delivered that day that the post office says yes, we delivered it, and no, I never got them. So I keep looking around my neighborhood to see if anybody's wearing my shirt.
One of these days, just look for this really funky looking black and orange shirt in the Phoenix area. So if you see it, let Terry know. All right, Terry. Well, you know what? I'm going to we got a couple quick minutes here. I'm going to give us, we haven't done this in a little bit. So the trade show list, if you don't mind, just read through some of the upcoming trade shows. We've talked a lot about SGI Expo coming up in Las Vegas, October 18th through the 20th. Then after that, you've got the NBM Charlotte show in Charlotte, North Carolina, November 2nd through the 3rd of this year. And I think as far as we know, that's kind of the last show of 2018. So let's dive into 2019 here real quick. There's lots going on early in the year. You've got ASI Orlando, January 3rd through the 5th. You've got PPAI Expo in Las Vegas, January 13th through the 17th. And then you've got the ISS Long Beach show, which we've talked about extensively here directly after that on January 18th through the 20th. So plenty of time to drive from Las Vegas to Long Beach if you're doing the the double there. And then heading back to Phoenix for the Creativation show. Used to be the Craft and Hobby show, but it's called Creativation show. That's January 19th through the 21st. And then just hang tight there for a couple weeks in Phoenix and hit a new venue for NBM this year, the NBM Phoenix show. So, Terry, I'm imagining you'll be at that one.
I will indeed. And we're talking about maybe doing a little open house down at our office in Tempe.
Cool. Very cool. So that's February 1st through the 2nd. And then ASI is heading to Fort Worth, February 5th through the 6th. And then, as we talked about earlier on in the show, you've got ThreadX powered by SGA happening February 17th through the 19th. And then from there, we head off to DAX, Kansas City for February 22nd through the 23rd. And then finally heading back to the East Coast, ISS Atlantic City, March 21st through the 23rd. And to round out March, you've got NBM Irving, Texas, March 28th through the 30th. So, Terry, I'm going to have to borrow your spare room for the first quarter of 2019, if that's okay.
It sounds like you'll be in this part of the country. Yeah, absolutely. You have used my spare room before. So. Okay.
Well, I just let me set up in there again, if you don't mind. So, all right, Terry. Well, we've come to the close of another show, and I really want to thank Marcia Derryberry for coming on and sharing all about ISS Long Beach, etc. for 2019, and then also for all the great information from Jesse Martinez, a good friend of ours, and really looking forward to seeing him out in Las Vegas here in a couple of weeks.
Absolutely. And we also want to thank our show producer, Eric Campbell. He's at ericcampbell.com. And also like to thank our sponsors, the Specialty Graphic Imaging Association and Equipment Zone. We very much appreciate your support.
Yes, and next week's show, Terry, are excited to welcome in a new guest, Monty Mims, who's with Sanmar. He's going to be joining us for the first time, and we're going to be talking about all sorts of fun stuff. He's a self-proclaimed apparel geek. In fact, I think that's his social media handle. We'll talk to him about that, and so we're just going to do apparel geek things. You know, that's going to be a lot of fun.
I think he'll be in good company as an apparel geek here. So, but until then, he is Aaron Montgomery. I'm Terry Combs, and we are the Two Regular Guys.
Thank you for listening to Two Regular Guys. Check out our website at tworegularguys.com. That's the number 2, regularguys.com. You can also interact with us over at our Facebook page, facebook.com/tworegularguys, or send us a tweet, twitter.com/tworegularguys. And we have a YouTube page. You can find all that from our website, tworegularguys.com. Thanks for tuning in, and we look forward to spending some time with you again next week.